Lieutenant Governor Dan Forest is the chairman of the Energy Policy Council. First of all, it sounds like it's going to involve drilling and fracking. Am I right?
Well, yeah, you're right, but it's a kind of an all-of-the-above approach. I mean, our responsibility as an Energy Policy Council by statute is an all-of-the-above plan and long-term energy strategy for the state of North Carolina, something we've never really had before, something that's never really been there as a guideline for the General Assembly and the governor to follow to make sure that we stay on track for future generations.
If the state gets its way, if Republicans stay in power, can craft those policy decisions, where are we heading in North Carolina?
Well, obviously, we're heading towards shale gas exploration. I think the responsible thing is always exploration first. We don't even know what we have. You know, we've gone decades without any seismic testing or exploration, either onshore or offshore. So that's goal number one. Do the testing in the central part of our state, where we think we have a really good shale basin that we can extract natural gas from, and as well as hopefully offshore in the near future. There's some things moving with the federal government that may allow the opportunity for seismic testing offshore to see what exists there.
Do you have any hesitation about either offshore drilling or onshore drilling in terms of how it affects the folks?
No, I really don't at this point. I think that the methods for both onshore and offshore drilling have changed significantly over the past 4 or 5 decades. It's very environmentally safe now to do the deep well fracturing. I mean, if you have ever visited a well, you see that these wells are steel pipes encased in concrete, encased in steel pipes, encased in concrete, encased in steel pipes, and they go down 5,000 feet, well below the water table. And in fact, there's been well over 1 million fracked wells drilled in America, with studies done by the Environmental Protection Agency and others on groundwater contamination, and have not found one case of groundwater contamination through those 1 million wells. So it's a safe procedure. There are other issues that you have to deal with. You have to deal with property rights, you have to deal with revenue issues, you have to deal with tax issues, infrastructure, distribution. All these things are pretty important, and they're very complex. And the Energy and Mining Commission is creating the rules now for the environment, and that's pretty important too.
There is that commission doing all that rule making. The Energy Policy Council, what are you doing in conjunction with them, or are you separate? Do you tell them what to do?
No, we're not telling any. We're an advisory council. So our goal is to advise the General Assembly on the governor on what we believe are going to be best practices moving forward with energy policy, not just looking at our state and our mining commission, but looking around the world. What are the latest and greatest innovations? What should we be doing? What should we be looking for in the future? How do we balance our energy needs? You know, we have a base generation need in our state that is really provided heavily by nuclear, by coal, and by other fossil fuel methods right now. And we know that renewables are just a blip on the screen. So we need to continue to invest in renewables, but it's going to be a long time before renewables take any kind of hit on the base generation. So we have to continue to focus on base generation, and we're going to look at that. We're going to make sure the environment is protected. We're going to make sure that our emergency energy plan is in place, and those types of things.
Let's talk about this coal situation, because you're looking at drilling and fracking. That's liquid petroleum. Coal's out there, and now you hear about the pond and it spilled ash into the river. Is coal on its way out, even if you're a conservative who wants all the above options? Are you looking more towards natural gas? Let's get rid of coal.
I don't know. It's really hard to say. Obviously, the Obama administration would like to see coal move out. They've taken a lot of steps to move coal out. We still have a lot of coal-fired plants in North Carolina that are going to be online for a while. You know, these things are aging out. Coal ages out, as well as nuclear aging out. Some of our nuclear plants are aging out in the next 20 years. You know, what happens with these massive generation plants when they age out? So that's something we look at. I think right now the focus is on the coal ash ponds and making sure that they're safe, making sure there aren't any more of these leaks into our rivers. I think that was something that probably took the administration by surprise, took a lot of people by surprise. It's my understanding that Duke actually did video testing of that very pipe the week before it broke and didn't find anything wrong with it. So, you know, there's a lot of study that has to be done, unfortunately, to figure out, are all these ponds safe? Are they up to date? Are there any hazards related to these ponds? You know, so that's really where that issue stands right now with the ponds. I think coal, clean coal, is a viable energy source. It's a very viable natural resource, cost-effective natural resource. So if we can produce clean coal energy, obviously take care of the environmental concerns, then we should continue to use those resources we have.
Say this policy council of yours takes traction, people start listening in earnest to you. If you could line up the best sources of energy from the top down, say top 3, what would you like to see this state go?
Well, we obviously have deep deposits in natural gas, so we would like to have exploration of natural gas and production and distribution. We think that that is a key resource for us for economic growth as well. Obviously, a lot of this plays into jobs in the economy and revenue for the state, so that's very important. Nuclear is still extremely important. It is the majority of our energy for the state of North Carolina right now. We have to make sure that we move forward protecting the facilities that we have for nuclear energy, and there's all kinds of advances that are being made every day for nuclear energy and different types of nuclear. So that's not off the table yet, and it shouldn't be off the table. It should be front and center as well. So that base generation issue is first and foremost, and we have to look at nuclear and fossil fuels to be able to provide that base load energy need.
Should the state law remain on the books that helps renewable energy like solar, or is it time to wipe off those kind of subsidies or incentives and let the market do what it will?
Well, I think investments for innovation are always good. I think they should be targeted at innovation. They shouldn't be picking favorites or winners or losers in the market. I don't think that the investments that are being made into the energy market should say, well, here is an investment on solar, so now we've just made solar affordable. That's not really the way the market should work. Those investments should go towards innovation to further advance capturing that energy for solar, to further advance capturing the wind industry energy and those types of things. But I've never been in favor of picking winners and losers, whether it's in the general economic marketplace or the energy marketplace.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Forrest, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.